Hello, back to Capitalism Lab. So when we left off, I finally got more than 50% of the stock price, or stock owned by Ben. My stock price had plummeted by an average of 30%, but it's on the way back up. Corporation details, our operating profit was negative while we were establishing ourselves, and then went positive, and it's kind of fluctuated a little bit above zero. Yay. I don't know what this purple bar is. Oh, that must be annual profit versus annual revenue versus cash. So that you can get at a glance, check out all the corporations. So there's 15 AI corporations right now. This guy still has some cash left. He's not making any revenue, and he's also not making any profits. So this guy is probably going to zero, right? His name is Touch Base, and I want to just look in all cities for corporation Touch Base. He owns 4 firms. One of them is a factory producing milk, which is crazy because you can just import really high quality milk. Also, brand awareness for milk is not essential. So that makes sense why he's losing money. He's losing a lot of money on this factory. He made 19K one month and he lost 200K another. Right now he's selling milk for $1.19 and he's brown. Who's buying this milk? Normally with my own factories I can click customers and see who's buying it, but I guess it's a mystery. So his next firm is a mine where he digs up silica. Mines tend to be very not profitable, just in general. You mostly want to backwards integrate, so like you would own the mine and the thing that refines it into something else. So he owns the mine. The mine's losing money. He owns this R&D center. R&D centers, research and development, right? All they do is lose money. So maybe he wanted to research how to make really good milk, and also mine a bunch of silica. I don't know. A second R&D center? This guy's crazy. So milk, a mine, and then 2 R&D centers. This just feels like it's doomed. Maybe what's going on is he's going to spend 2 years researching a technology, and then he's going to sell the technology to someone else. So like maybe he's not even trying to research a technology for himself, like how to make better milk or whatever. Maybe he's researching like how to make really high quality leather, and then he'll just sell the leather tech to somebody else. You can play this game as just a stock speculator, so you can investigate each company and what they're doing and whether or not you think they're going to succeed, and then wait till their stock is at its lowest before they start making profits, and then buy a bunch of the stock. And whatever. We're not doing that this game. We don't have any capital available to buy AI stocks, but it's interesting how you can just kind of at a glance see what's going on with these companies. So for us, this purple bar is a really good sign that we're going to make it in the long run. So any other companies that have purple bars, we should look at what they're doing. So, he's a tech company. He needs to research. That's why. In order to make tech, you need to have the research to make the tech. So he's probably researching how to make an operating system. And then once he's done researching how to make an operating system, it's very low cost to put down like a software place and pay some programmers to actually code up the operating system that you've researched. So he'll make money later, but right now he's losing money. He's still got $21 million in cash, so that's plenty of money to hire some programmers. West End AI Insurance, losing a lot of money, but he's been very fluctuating. I don't know. It's hard to tell if he's on a trajectory to be profitable. This guy's a stock company. He's a stock speculator, I guess. So he just buys other people's stock and hopes it goes up. This guy is willing to do anything. He's AI all, right? He's making a ton of money, and he has very little cash left, but his yearly revenues are quite high. About double mine. So let's look at what his starting point was so that we can be jealous, right? Sorry. His expertise is manufacturing, research and development, and household products. And not summary. Wealth. Is this corporation wealth or person wealth? This is person wealth. I want corporation details on Compass Point. So I don't know. I click this. How do I get to, corporation details, and then Compass Point is one way to get there. This is Compass Point overview. Okay, we did it. So the overview of Compass Point, they own 9 stores, 2 factories, one of whatever this is. I wish that there was a tooltip when I moused over these. It's weird. Look, there's a button to buy out the company for $470 million. So net worth of 165. Our net worth, I think, is 55. So his net worth is 3 times higher than us. Compass Point is the man to watch. Strategy, diversified strategy, chairman, this lady, strategy, chief executive officer. What's a chairman? Chairman of the board. That's weird. I don't know. Usually, it's a private corporation. So I guess these two are in it together. They each own some percentage of this company. Interesting. Market dominance. They have their first place in raw material production, second place in manufacturing, 4th place in retail. So I want to look at Compass Point firms. They have 17 firms worth $150 million, making lots of bank. So one of their firms is R&D. Obviously, it loses money in order to research new technologies. What's this? What's this? Only show the guy that I'm looking at. He's making a mine. Chemical minerals. Right in the middle of town, he's mining chemicals. Right next to a school. Right next to me. Crazy. So this is losing money. What's this? Oh, it's a software company. It hasn't made any software yet. This is a discount megastore making $91,000 a month, selling unbranded import leather jackets. You can tell it's unbranded because there's no orange bar on top of it. So he's making $180,000 a month selling unbranded leather jackets. So if we bought those leather jackets and slapped a brand on them, we could make even more. He's also selling the skates. We saw those in the seaport yesterday. And he's not branding those either, and he's selling them for $138. He's making $67,000 a month. And stuffed toys, he's making $180,000. And wallets, he's not making any money. And tissues are very well branded by the Purple Corporation, which is his own. So he's selling his own tissues and investing in growing his tissue brand. He's got 50% market dominance in tissue sales and a lot more supply than demand. He's only making $56K, but that's a long-term play. Like, he's making those tissues in a factory, so he wants to build up his market dominance so that he can sell them at all his stores. So I think we can copy this guy and sell leather jackets and stuffed toys because they're really working for him at a discount megastore. Over here, he's selling unbranded frozen chicken, and he's making $50K. He's making $180K at this supermarket selling his tissues, his own branded tissues. This supermarket is not yet profitable, but it's making more and more revenue every month, and it looks like it's on the way to being profitable. And also, it's pushing his tissues, so the tissue factory is going to be profitable. Again, he's selling his tissues, $250K a month worth of tissues at this supermarket. Wow. And it's not profitable, but he doesn't mind the supermarket losing money as long as the factory for tissues is making money. He's selling unbranded cornflakes and unbranded headache pills, neither of which is making very much money. Again, tissues for $65K. He's pretty much losing money at this store. This supermarket is not making anything. Is he selling my cookies? No, he's selling unbranded cookies instead of my cookies. What a chump. He should sell my cookies. Alright, over here, he's pushing his tissues. He's pushing his tissues hard, man. He's really growing that tissue. Look, he's got a 100% market share of tissues in the Healy city. This city's name is Healy. And that big red bar next to the tissues means nobody is selling tissues here but him. And he's making $440 a month at this supermarket selling tissues. Oh my gosh. Almost all of it is, half of it's coming from unbranded detergent, and a third of it, and a quarter of it. Wow, he's making so much money at this supermarket. This is crazy. This supermarket alone making $500,000. I like it. So we need to sell. He's selling unbranded detergent, unbranded wine, and unbranded headache pills here. If we branded all three of those, then he's proven that we could make quite a bit of money. So in Healy, supermarket, selling those things, pretty cool. But he's also making a bunch of money on his tissues in this city, so it's very impressive. He's doing a good job. He's selling desktop computers that he made. It's the purple brand, the little rectangle underneath the rating quality shows what brand it is. He's selling his own computers. They're making $400K a month. That's crazy. That's super profitable. That's as profitable as his tissues. And then he's also selling software that somebody else made, and making a lot of money selling that software. Here's the tissue factory. You can see it's not even fully being utilized. This is the yellow bar versus orange bar. It's making $300K a month to produce tissues, and it's got a long runway. It could make 4 times as many. So once it's fully capped out, he could be making, wow, so revenue in tissues is $550, but total profit of the factory is only $280. So that means the overhead of this factory is another $270. So if we assume he could get 4 times as many tissues being made and sold, then that is a revenue of $2 million with the overhead of $240. So he'd be making $3 million off just this tissue factory. That's the type of money you can fund a software company off of, right? Over here, he's mining the timber that he makes the tissues out of. This is making a small profit, but really it's just about controlling who gets to buy. Once his factory is capped out, he's going to need a lot of timber, and he doesn't want it to be going to someone else to make something else. Thank you, beautiful. Over here, making a bunch of money selling mobile phones, unbranded mobile phones, unbranded mobile phones. Why is the second one? He's selling a $300 version of a mobile phone, unbranded, and then a light blue company's $371 mobile phone, which is earning a lot less money and has no demand. I don't know. That seems like, don't do that. Anyway. Making a lot of money selling his own computers, making a bunch of money selling his own computers and unbranded phones, his own computers and unbranded phones. This is his personal mansion. He's paying himself a salary. I'm not currently paying myself a salary because it's too early on in my career. But he's paying himself a salary which he can use to speculate on stocks and to buy a mansion. And then hopefully the property value of the mansion will go up over time. And then he can have more net worth and sell his mansion. All right. Is it this one? This is where he makes the computers. He's making $610K revenue and $440K profits off of his computer factory. So his start was an R&D company, a software company, a tissue factory, a computer factory, a timber mill, and then he just pushed all of his products at various supermarkets for tissues and discount mega stores for tissues. And not software, computer stores to sell his computers. And he made a lot of money, and it worked out really well. I would invest in this guy if I had money to invest. This is his software company. It's making an encryption software. So far it's not profitable, but he can fund it off of all this other stuff, so it doesn't need to be profitable for a long time. Another R&D center where he's probably researching the best way to make tissues. Another discount megastore making mostly money off of, this is the first one. This is leather jackets and stuffed toys. So I want a discount megastore selling leather jackets and toys. I also want to go to the city of Healy and sell wine, cold pills, tissues and detergent. Like that's crazy. That's really profitable right there. So that's what he's doing. I want to get a feel for what my competitors are doing so that I know what industry to go into next, because as we learned at the end of the last video, we have $100 million worth of available capital that we can get by selling bonds and taking out bank loans. We could also issue additional stock, but I feel like that's pretty risky, because we don't want to get bought out. Like this guy could easily afford to buy us out if we let our stock price go too low. All right, corporations. We saw this guy. This guy is even more. He's a retail specialist. So retail at the beginning of the game is super profitable because there's like the competition is all hidden. Like what's the word? Like if we click a product and we click air conditioners, see how part of the market share is coming from imports. Like we're shipping it in through the seaports, and then the bright white part, that's just like background. These people are buying it on Amazon. It's not related to the game. This is the background, whatever. So in the beginning, you're stealing market share from background, which is really easy. But once market share is owned by various competing companies, then it becomes a lot harder to maintain your production dominance and your retail dominance. So retail of air conditioners is made up primarily, is being dominated by green and red. I think the one we were looking at who's so profitable is blue, so it's interesting. I mean, I guess he's just not selling air conditioners. But so let's take a look at what dark blue is doing. Concept Bright, all firms, all cities. He's just got a bunch of retail stores, and this is commercial building, convenience store making not very much money, discount mega store making not very much money, supermarket making a ton of money, primarily off of unbranded like generic stuff. He's also selling the tissues for that other guy. That's funny. Other guy's tissues have such a huge market share that he's willing to sell them, and he's making 220k selling that other guy's tissues. What would be an interesting play would be to invest in the guy making the tissues, like buy some of his stock, and then set up a bunch of supermarkets to steal the tissue market from him, and he wouldn't even mind, because like he wants people to sell his tissues. He's got a lot. He's only a quarter full on that factory. He could make a lot, like $5 million if he could max out the factory. So that's an interesting play that this guy's doing. Most of the profit for this supermarket is coming from a combination of tissues and detergent. So it seems like tissues and detergent is a good thing to get into. Commercial building. These are making reasonable profit, but I think it costs like $5 million to buy the land, and then $10 million to buy the building, so it's like $15 million, and then it makes $160k a month. That doesn't seem like it's worth it. So these are it's for diversification. Like it's steady income all the time, very low risk, and it boosts your revenues, and it boosts your it's just like it's a way to put money somewhere while you're waiting to find a better place to put money, but it's not aggressive. It's very fixed income, passive, like buying bonds or whatever. All right, Madame Claire Iniguez of Concept Bright has a store here making almost $1 million. That's insane. This is a discount mega store. It has 2 floors. I've never done a multi-floor store before. That's crazy. She's making reasonable money, although half as much as at the other store, on detergent and belts. She can't seem to sell cookies because I outcompeted her. Haha. She's making 600k just selling refrigerators. Jeez. Unbranded refrigerator. Oh, no, they're branded. They're made by the Red Corporation, and they have some Red Corporation branding. So much money selling toys and eggs and skates and leather jackets, especially 420k a month selling leather jackets. This is so profitable. I wish I owned this thing. I want this thing. Again, this is in Healy. So the other guy was making a bunch of money in Healy, and this guy's making a bunch of money in Healy. Healy seems to be the place to make money. Similarly, selling leather jackets and toys in Healy. Commercial building, losing money on a convenience store, kind of getting... Interesting how this is losing money. It's making $360,000 in revenue, but it's making negative 0.1 in profits. I guess she's advertising here, or maybe she's... It's got more than 4 items, so that means it's 2 floors tall. That raises the overhead. Alright, occupancy, another one. So I'm going to stop looking at what they're selling and just look at just go through these numbers really quick. Firm, I want to look at only retail firms, retail store, okay. So 0.6, 0.7, 0.7, so this is the best one. So now I'm going to look at all corporation retail stores and just look for a number higher than 0.7. Because I've got a general feel for how people are making 0.7, but is there someone doing it even better? This guy's making 0.9, owned by the Magenta Corporation, and it's got 4 products per floor, 4, 8, so it's got 3 floors of a discount mega store, making insane money. And it's all unbranded stuff, like there's no orange bars anywhere. Wow. And this is not Healy, this is Jennison? I wonder what the land value here, right here is. Let's buy land. Oops. So land value here is only 3 million. It looks like about 3 million. So if you'll remember, the land we built our store on cost $500K at the warehouse and then $700K for our store. This guy bought land that cost $3 million per tile, so it's like way more expensive. That's why he was able to make so much per month from the store, because he had to pay so much to get it. So I bet as a percentage, the ROI is similar. I'll go through some more of these firms and look for another big number. 0.6. I wonder, like, with my houses, when I clicked on them, I could see the purchase price and then I could see the current value. I wonder if you can do that on that discount mega store. So this is $1 million land. That's much more affordable, and they're making 0.6. So this seems like the kind of guy that I wanna be like. And again, he's got multiple floors. I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't have multiple floors. You know, maybe I should put multiple floors. I think I've decided what I'm gonna do. I might forget, but right now what I'm thinking is I should just go to these existing retail outlets that I have and add new floors. New floor. See? So we're capped out on how many, the demand for cookies, but we can't sell enough cookies because see how my sales department is tapped out? If we make a new floor and just sell more cookies, we could make more money. I'm doing it. Everyone else seems to be making money off of multi-floor retail stores. I'm going to do that too. So warehouse only. And it's so cheap to do this. I can't believe I didn't even think of this until earlier. That's insane. Alright, so demand for headache pills is high. And we gotta, again, we want 1 purchaser for every 2 salespeople. So we'll buy headache pills and sell and train. And then let's go back to the first floor and see what else has a maxed out demand bar. Cookies, headache pills, actually all 3 things. How's we're making 42K revenue on cookies. I feel like cookies is our market leader in making bank. It feels like we're not making any money off of these phones. Oh, it's because all the money is being made at the warehouse. Like, this is misleading. We're making most of the money from the warehouse. Alright, so on the second floor, we're going to sell, purchase, sale, and then purchase, sale, and we're going to buy some cookies, and we're going to buy some... Should I buy more phones or just focus massively on cookies? Man, phones have a huge profit margin. I mean, not here, but actually they don't. You know, cookies are the bread and butter. I'm gonna make more and more cookies. Great. So hopefully that'll pay off. We're gonna have to come back and check on it in a while because I'm not even unpaused right now. So next, we want to sell. This guy is. We're buying cookies. Sell cookies. Headache. Blah, 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 blah. We could sell more cookies, but we can't really sell more phones and more headache pills. So let's make a new floor and oh, I don't have the money for it. But that's what I'll do with my upcoming additional money. So let's talk about oh, also I think I went to sleep after the last video and woke up and started this one, and I had a thought while I was asleep, which is that we experimented with the idea of having one importer and all of these labelers and this outputter, but I'm betting that these labeling companies can't output to this output thing, because yesterday we did I think you can only pass it from a place to a place. I don't think you can pass it through places like this. So I think we should turn this into an output. I don't have enough money to turn it into an output, but that's what we should do. So I'm gonna put it on speed 3 until I can afford to do that, because it costs 13k. Okay, now we have 13k. Warehouse output, more cookies. Got it. Good. So quality of our cookies is, oh, this is why no one was selling our cookies but us, is because we have it set to internal sale. I should turn that off. Alright, so I want to up the price until the overall rating is competitive with the cookie market. I think 40 overall rating is what our competitors are doing. So if we get to 50, then people still might buy them. You can see how there are people out there, when we went through the stores, they're selling cookies, and our cookies are so much better than their cookies that as soon as we listed them for sale, there's a bunch of people buying our cookies and selling them at their stores. Good. I don't think we can make multiple floors on the warehouse, so that's okay. This red bar just means nobody's, like, the demand for cookies isn't high enough. So we're making a bunch of cookies that then don't get sold right now, but that's fine. So we made oh, I thought I already built the second floor on this, but I guess I was wrong. Or maybe I told it to build a second floor and it said I can't afford that, and I assumed, I don't know, this is weird. So this guy is selling cookies, but not enough people want them at this price to max out these sales dudes. What's going on? Okay, this guy's selling cookies maxed out, selling cookies maxed out, selling cookies maxed out, selling cookies maxed out. So yeah, everyone's maxed out. All of these bars are full except for this one, which means I don't understand what an orange, like a demand bar on a purchase thing means. I guess it's irrelevant. All that really matters is the sales things, and all the sales things look good to me. So we can make a third floor and just sell even more cookies. So capped out sales, capped out sales, capped out sales, capped out sales. We got 4 sales guys here and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sales guys there. I feel like this configuration is dumb. So we should sell cookies with this guy. Alright. You sell cookies. You are useless. So you should be a sales guy, and you can also sell cookies. And then this guy's selling headache pills and advertising. Alright, good. So now we're not selling phones here anymore. This guy's selling, once he's done selling mobile phones, he'll switch to selling cookies. And then we're going to make a new floor and sell mobile phones on that new floor. So we're going to say purchase, 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 sales, 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 sales. It looks like 3 floors is the max. And one of these guys has to make mobile phones, even though mobile phones seem to be our worst. I was positive mobile phones would be our best investment because obviously brand awareness matters so much for mobile phones. But it just feels like there's not enough people out here buying mobile phones, so the demand for mobile phones just isn't available. Market share of mobile phones is mostly held by this red guy, even though his overall... you know what? Maybe I'm looking at this wrong. Maybe product details mobile phones, red guy in the city of Firth. His overall quality is... He's just importing the same phones as I am. And he's just selling them. He's not branding them. And somehow he's getting 80 quality phones. Why are his phones higher quality if he's importing them? Is he importing them from a different city? That punk. Then he's selling them for 208, whereas I'm selling them for 362. So I'm gonna lower my price for now, because what's the point in even selling mobile phones if we can't cap out the sales teams? Anyway, back to making my store everything that it can be. So here we're selling mobile phones. I want to see. Here we have. We'll just sell more cookies and more headache pills. I'll switch those if we like fill up on inventory and can't push this many through. I don't really know. You never know until you try. I don't know whether we're not going to be able to sell that many, especially headache pills. I think I only have one factory using one labeler to make headache pills. It's possible that we're gonna yeah. So we can't keep up with supply on headache pills. That's what that yellow line being less than full means. So I can't buy enough. There's no... See how right here we bought a bunch of mobile phones and they're stored up. With cookies, as soon as we buy them, they immediately sell. So that's good. With headache pills, as soon as we buy them, they immediately go to the sales team. But the sales teams are having trouble selling them. Profitability of this firm is going lower and lower just because of the overhead that it's costing to have multiple floors. But I think over time... That's gonna work itself out, because you can see cookies are so much more profitable now that we have 3 floors selling them. Actually, they're less profitable. We're selling more cookies and making less money. Interesting. And our price that we're selling, we're buying mobile phones for $390 and selling them for $300. That doesn't seem wise. Like, we should lower the price at the factory if we're going to lower the price. Yeah. So, Mr. Mobile Phone. Mobile phone. If we're going to sell them for $290, then you should also sell them for $290. Alright. Is anyone else? Yeah. There's people taking advantage of our advertising to sell mobile phones at a 23% markup, and they're successfully buying 3,000 from us and selling them at a 23% markup. So it's possible to sell these at quite the markup. But for some reason in the city of Firth, the mobile phone industry is being dominated by imported 80 quality phones being sold for 200. So anyway, lots of people buying our cookies yet. It looks like monthly purchase of 0, monthly purchase of 0. People don't want our cookies at this price. Are we bottlenecked on labeling or on selling? It looks like we could sell a lot more, so I'm going to lower the price a little. I wanted our overall quality to get down near the 40 that is the default in this city and not the average in this city, but I'm going to raise it back up to 60 overall quality to see if we can get some more external orders. My stores have to sell cookies at a negative markup because the price was too high at the warehouse. Okay, so this warehouse is making money. This warehouse is making money. This store is losing a lot of money. I thought it has to buy the initial stock. I thought it would start making money after it did that. Mobile phones the blue bar, the inventory bar, is full everywhere. So we're buying phones way faster than we can sell them. We need to push phones a little bit more. So I'm going to lower the price even more, or maybe I should just wait. It hasn't been very long. I'll leave it be. So cookies we're selling at a negative markup. I kind of want to sell it for what my factory sells it for, so we'll sell it for 4.3. Looking at our 3 floors, cookies, we've got a lot of unsold cookies, and we've got a lot of unsold cookies down here. Oh, you know what? A big part of why this is no longer profitable is because we're paying so much on training. It costs 18K a month times 3 to train all of our salespeople. So let's stop doing that just to see if we're making money when we don't do that. And that's the play for now. We're up to $1 million of capital. We're making reasonable money every month. I want to look at the corporation details of myself. This purple bar is still beautiful looking. Our profits have not increased over time, but they're staying steady. Whereas this guy, his profits increased for quite a while. This is the type of trajectory, the rapid growth that you want to see in a corporation. You don't want it to just make profit and then stay still. Like that's not good. I know there's a way somewhere in here to see profit margin. I don't really know how to see that. Let's see how our share price is doing. It's back up to the 10 that it started at, plus now it's 11. I think because we don't know how to spend this $1 million we have sitting around, I really want to invest in that guy who's making tissues, because that's cool. So I'm going to invest in Compass Point. Hopefully there's still publicly available Compass Point stock. Where is it? Oh, you know what? It's a private company. Well, that's not good. Oh well. Very sad. We can't invest in Compass Point. So let's find another corporation that we're pretty sure is going to be awesome. This guy's a private company. This retail giant is going to be one of our competitors. I don't know if we want to invest in a competitor. I think we want to find someone manufacturing a cool product, invest in them, and then buy that product and sell it at our general stores. Because we're going to have to make a lot more general stores to max out our relabeling giant. And who's making stuff? This is a retail person, a bank, telecom, OS. Where's a factory guy? Tech, stock, all. Real estate, stock, insurance, all. I think this guy makes all. He's super unprofitable right now. We could, like, if he's making a bunch of stuff that nobody is selling for him, we could just invest in him and then buy his stuff and sell it in our stores, and then our stock purchase would go up greatly. I wanted to invest in purple. I couldn't, so I give up. I'm not going to invest in anyone right now. So I need to open additional store locations. This is a lot less profitable. I need to figure out why, even though we tripled our revenue, we decreased our profits. That seems wrong. So now it's negative 0.3. Oops. And this one's negative 0.07. So this one's doing better because it's still only one floor. That's why. Oh, it's because our warehouse is making all the money. We're not marking it up very much. All right, so this is harder. Okay, I get it. There's no blue bar on phone. We're selling phones as soon as they arrive. We're selling cookies as soon as they arrive. We're selling headache pills as soon as they arrive. So we're bottlenecked on yellow supply. We can't get enough cookies? Is it because our purchasers can't buy them fast enough for us? Our sales guys are capped out. Our purchasers are capped out. I think we just need a new floor. But why aren't we making money? Oh, I get it. I keep asking the same question. This is really confusing myself. Anyway, I should make sure that I'm profitable on each of these products. Wow. All right. So the price in the city of headache pills is, I mean, the overall city's overall is 84. So we really can't afford. We can't afford to be selling it for so much more than everyone else. All right, so we'll get ours up to 88. Now we need to lower in the factory the price of headache pills to 717 because, and then we'll lower it even more. Love you, E. You're the best dude. All right. So 717 is what we're selling it for at the retail store. I'm gonna get even lower at the warehouse. So it's up to 91. So if the average the average overall rating at a retail store is 84, then our warehouse has to sell it has to have a rating higher than that, or nobody would buy it. So we'll go to 91. Similarly with phones, if people expect their phones to be like, let's see what quality they're expecting on their phones. City's average is 73, so we need to make sure the warehouse phones are above 73, which they are. They're 81, and that's fine. And then at the store, you know what? We gotta, if we want it to be 81 at the store, it's got to be 90 at the factory, or at the warehouse. So let's get it up to 90. All right, there. Now it's 90. So I'm gonna try to squeeze out 10 points of rating at each place. I know I should theoretically use percentages because, you know, anyway, but I'm too lazy for now. I'm just gonna use raw points. Eli, how you doing, buddy? Are you talking to yourself? Me too. Yay! All right. So as for the pricing of cookies, our competitors are 46, so we want our retail to be 56, so we want our warehouse to be 66. So there we go. So warehouse is 66, retail is 56, and competitors are 46. That makes sense. All right. I'm gonna turn back on citywide pricing because I don't like having to think about the price at both stores. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't. We're small enough right now that we should stick to it. So we're gonna need like $8 million to open a new location, but we can open new floors on our existing locations without doing that. So headache pills should be 103 at the warehouse. Let's go to the warehouse and make sure headache pills are 103. Also, it's possible our labeling, we only have one labeler doing headache pills, so it's possible at some point he won't be able to keep up. So let's get this up to 100. There we go. That seems right. I think so. This new strategy that we're going for is to get 10 rating at each part of the chain. All right. So labeler for headache pills. As soon as he labels something, it immediately sells. So no, it was just that the shipments of headache pills from external customers weren't keeping up. I don't know. So you can see this bar, we could support 3 labelers. This guy is shipping to 4 labelers. This guy's shipping to only 1 labeler, and both of them are being utilized at the same rate. That seems wrong. And our output is not yet capped out. So it looks like, point is, I don't think we need a new labeler for headache pills yet, but we will. Yeah, he's running out of labeled headache pills. So I want, okay, and then you just got a shipment of 5 more from the labeler. I think we're good for now at the warehouse. Still losing money. So this one's profitable, this one's profitable, this one's not. Headache pills are not yet profitable. We've got overall 94, and then our warehouse is 102. So we should be making profits selling these. Are we not pushing enough of them? Headache pills. We're capped out in the sales of headache pills. I don't know. They should be profitable. Why aren't they profitable? This is confusing. But whatever. So making money, not making money, and then overall losing money. Oh, because we're advertising. That's why we're losing money. So as long as all of the bars are full, yeah, all the bars are full, so good enough. I'll have to come back in a little while because I feel like we're spending 100K a month advertising and our total profit is negative 100K a month. So it's like we broke even. So this one is basically breaking even, which is good. Because if we break even at the retail locations, that makes the warehouse make us all our money. And see, our profits are going up. So we want to add floors here. And then I just want to put nothing on those floors and watch my firm's profit drop, because I want to know how much it costs to have additional floors, and I don't want to try to find that information somewhere. So I'll just wait for firm profits to go down. So how are we doing on pricing? We should be 10 above our nearest competitor. Sorry. Well, let's try to stay 10% above our nearest competitor instead of 10 above. So that's about 10% more, and this is about 10% more, and this is, we need it to be 92. This is about 10% more. Good. The yellow bar is having trouble, so we have more people that want to buy them, but we need more. We need more to sell, so we're going to set up these additional floors. Sell, 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 sell. Purchase, 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 sell, 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 sell. Oops. Sell. Alright, good. Now, we're gonna go cookie, cookie, cookie. Oops. Headache pill, mobile phone, cookie. So we're mostly a cookie store. Our life is a life of a cookie life. Because we have a whole factory dedicated to cookies, we know that we have the throughput to take over the world in terms of cookies. So now let's see, let's double click on cookies, look at product details for cookies in the city of Firth. Most of the cookies being sold in this entire city come from us, and most of the stores selling it are owned by us. So that's good. Look at, we were losing money for a second when we bought new floors to our store, but now we're making money again. How's our revenue doing? This looks like it's still a purple bar, and revenue to profit ratio is pretty good. So the ratio between this line and this line, your revenue to profit, that's your profit margin, right? And I know that there's a view somewhere that just shows profit margin. PE ratio, that's your stock price versus your earnings ratio. The higher it is, the more expensive you are. The lower it is, the cheaper you are. And business relationships. Compass Trade. So they're trading with us. They've given us $411,000. These guys have given us $2 million of buying all our cookies and stuff. So that's cool. I like that we can see our little business relationships with other people. Firm overview, we have 2 stores, 2 warehouses, and 3 apartments. I wonder if we could maximize the rent on our apartments more. 87%. Let's view everything now. So this one's at 81%, and his occupant or his rent is 13.3, and our rent is 11.8. So if we raised our rent to 13.3, then we would be more like that guy. But this is the annual number, so it's not going to update right away. So if we turn off, our rent is 17.6. Let's look what his rent is again. Rent per square foot is 13.3, but it doesn't show his raw rent. Like, what is the price a person pays to live here? He's got a 50% rent attractiveness. We've got a much less rent attractiveness. So now we're at 50%. So yeah, he's just doing... This is 100% of average rent. So this is saying in this area, the market believes the average rent should be 18.04, and we're using 100% of that. So is he. So I don't feel like there's any extra rent to be squeezed out of this building. When there's like a depression and property values are pretty high, or all the property in a tiny area like around the high school has already been sold, then you can raise rents because the supply and demand, like there's a more demand for people to live right in that spot than there are houses to live in. But I don't think we're in that situation. I think we should just stick to the average rent. Public money to be invested. So if we like, you remember the stock market? At first, a lot of our shares were owned by the public, but now they've all been gobbled up by corporations. So this number up here is a reflection of how much money the city, the public citizens, the non-corporate citizens have to invest, and they don't have any. So that just means like we wouldn't be able to raise any money by issuing additional shares. All right, I'm gonna stop here. I'm impressed. We have $2 million. We're making a lot of money. Are we on track to be able to pay off our bond? That's an important question because we lose the game if we're not. So let's buy back some of our bonds? No, because we can't issue... Well, can we? What's the rate at which we could issue new bonds? We're A rated now, so we could issue bonds at 4%. Oh my gosh. Alright, so I'm pausing the game. We're going to issue bonds at A rating for 4% coupon rate, and then we're just going to buy back our 8% coupon rate bonds. So, duh. That's cool. I didn't know we were up to an A rating. That's crazy. Because we're not leveraged at all, right? Leverage means loans. And leverage is a big part of how businesses grow and grow and grow at an ever-increasing rate, is that every time you buy a building that pays rents, your net worth, like your net revenues go up, and then you can borrow money against those revenues, buy another building, borrow money against that building, buy another building, borrow money against that building, buy another building, right? So that's how you leverage to grow way faster. Like if you have an unleveraged company like we do, you're not going to grow very fast, which is why if we look at the corporate operating profit, our slope is very low, whereas this guy had a much steeper slope and this guy had a much steeper slope, and like because they leveraged in order to get there. 4 million operating profits already. Geez, the Aero Corp is really taken off. They're a bank. Anyway, so I wanted to buy back my bonds. Halbico bonds, owned by the public. Buy. I don't have the money to buy any more than that. Alright, so now I want to issue new bonds and then buy up all of these bonds. But they're owned by a company, West End company, so he might not be willing to sell them to me. That's annoying. So he's going to get that 8% payout rate for the entire duration of the bond. But still, we're going to borrow... I think if we borrow $100 million, how much does it cost to borrow from a bank? I mean, what's the interest rate at the bank? 40 million... we'd be paying $2 million a year in annual interest. We made $7 million last year, so we could easily afford $2 million a year in interest, and then it'd give us $40 million to build 5 new stores or something. So I don't know whether I should issue bonds or borrow from a bank. I guess when you issue bonds, they can be bought by private individuals, and then those individuals can decide that you're not allowed to pay back the bond, and that's frustrating. But you get a much better rate. 4.6 from bonds, whereas borrowing from a bank you pay a higher rate, but you pay that higher rate for the privilege of being able to buy yourself out of this loan whenever you want, right? So we could have our 5-year rate and our 1-year rate are the same. Well, that's insane. We should obviously do a 5-year loan if we did do a loan. All right, so I'm thinking we're going to do bonds, but no one wants to buy our bonds. Oh, it's because this number is negative. There's no one out there who can buy bonds. So I guess we have to do a bank loan. That's why the bank loan has a worse rate than the bonds is because there's more money. Like there's no public money right here. Right. So we're gonna borrow money from a bank. I think we're gonna cap it out because why not? Borrow 40 million, and then we're gonna go to the bond market and buy back all of our public bonds, and buy back if this guy will sell, which he won't. We can't buy them from him. It's weird that we can't even like offer to buy them from him and see what he says. He's just like, no, you can't have this. All right, so now we have 38 million, and our liabilities. We owe 16 million in our original 8% bond, and we owe 41 million in a bank loan. So assets versus liabilities, we still have a ratio of 2 to 1. So our leverage is only, we're only 66% leveraged. And banks, for example, will always be like 300% leveraged or something, and retail stores tend to stay like 40% leveraged or whatever. So in the real world, 66% leverage, or actually I think we're 33% leverage. Yeah, 33% leverage is nothing for a corporation. Most corporations are leveraged a lot more than that. I wish I could bring up a thing and just type in like what is how leveraged is Netflix, for example. I feel like they're like 100% leveraged. Anyway, the way leverage works, I mean, obviously everyone understands the way leverage works, but the point is you want to leverage more when you're very confident you'll have a very high profit margin, and you want to leverage less when you have smaller profit margins or less confidence that you'll be able to earn that money consistently for longer. So I feel like our whole business could go bankrupt if the seaport stopped sending cookies for too long. So we should make a warehouse that just holds on to a bunch of cookies, so that when the seaport goes out, it doesn't interrupt our labeling warehouse. Then we should build a new labeling warehouse to label more pain pills. Then we should expand and buy a bunch more retail stores. And then we should also make new warehouses to label additional products, because I feel like this city is making a ton of money up here, and we haven't gotten into this land at all because it's too expensive. So if we turn off the My Firms filter and we look at only retail stores, and only in this city, and then we hide everything that doesn't match our filter, this retail store is making 0.03, 0.07, 0.22. Discount Megastore is making the real money. And this Discount Megastore is selling unbranded leather jackets, unbranded stuffed toys, and unbranded inline skates. So if we bought those three things, slapped our brand on it, then this store would buy them from us because now it's worth more. They can make a higher margin. And then we'd be making money at the warehouse, and then we could also make additional Discount Megastores like here and here and here and here. So that's the plan. Expand into those 3 new products and make more stores. I'm gonna stop for now and eat my omelet. Bye.